Lawrence G. Paul, and David Snyder, set decoration by Linda DeSena.
Gandhi, art direction by Stuart Craig and Bob Lang, set decoration by Michael Searton.
La Traviata, art direction by Franco Zeffirelli, set decoration by Gianni Quaranta.
Wonderful. Victor Victoria, art direction by Roger Moss, Tim Hutchison, and William Craig Smith, set direction by Harry Cordwell. Your turn, Margaret.
Thank you.
Your turn, Margaret.
The winners are Stuart Craig and Bob Lang for Gandhi, and for set decoration, Michael Searton.
This is the Day in English, translated by Japan Convention Services. I'm George Cashman for Satya and Katsuhiro Masakata. 102 people are reported dead or missing in yesterday's quake. The Meteorological Agency now says the epicenter was located about 100 kilometers west of Noshiro in Akita Prefecture, much closer to land than originally believed. It was thought the quake occurred about 40 kilometers beneath the seabed, but today's report places it at only 2 kilometers beneath the floor of the ocean. This seems to support a number of claims by university experts that the Meteorological Agency's information is unreliable. Aftershocks continue to be felt in the area, and the agency says there's the possibility of another strong tremor during the next 2 weeks. We'll have more on the quake when we return.
Sports Response 60が加わって全開100ターボ TURBO 310 Turbo.
The search for the missing continues in Akita, Aomori, and Hokkaido, and the rebuilding began this morning. The bodies of 10 of the 11 schoolchildren missing off the coast of Oga in Akita Prefecture were found today, destroying the hope those families had clung to last night and throughout most of today. We'll have reports from the areas following this.
One night has passed in Akita's Oga Peninsula, and here at the site of the disaster, the school children, 10 school children's bodies were found, including 2 found yesterday. Death of 11 children have been confirmed, and the remaining missing is Akiko Ito. The parents who come from Aikawa City have been anxiously waiting on the coast, and they were in deep sorrow. The bodies were taken to Aikawa City on cars about 100 kilometers away. The bodies invited, or rather were met by deep sorrow and tears. My friends were all swept away, and I was the only one left. And the water came up to my knees, and I was also taken away a little bit. In Aikawa Minami Primary School, the school was closed down for the day. The fourth graders and the fifth graders who were sacrificed are missing, and their desks were decorated with flowers. In the classrooms, the children's textbooks were left behind just the way they were before, while the children were still alive. At the school, a meeting will be held tomorrow to report on the tragedy to the remaining school children. 14 additional people were found dead today, and 41 are still missing.
In Aomori Prefecture, the damage caused by the earthquake appears to be increasing as the inspection proceeds. Damage is now estimated at over 8 billion yen. One person among 13 have been reporting missing was found dead today, and 12 others are still missing. In the village of Shura in Kita-Tsugaru-gun, 6 people have been reported missing. 7 self-defense force helicopters and 55 boats have been searching for the missing persons with no success. The official inspection group, headed by the National Land Agency Director General Mutsuki Kato, today visited the devastated areas, including Fukura and Ajisawa in Aomori Prefecture, to witness personally the scale of the damage. In the village of Shariki in Nishi-Tsugaru-gun, where the damage to homes and roads was most severe, almost half of the 1,500 homes in that area were destroyed. The roads were broken, indicating the intensity of the quake at that area. The Aomori Prefecture office today applied the Disaster Relief Act to Sanakiri village, thereby providing the villagers with sundry goods as soap, blankets, and drinking water. Rice paddies in the western seaside area of the county, where newly planted rice seedlings were either washed away or the paddies are now covered with mud. Some 3,500 hectares of paddy land has been destroyed or damaged. Farmers have been rather depressed in the area as a result of repeated damage to their crops, following the abnormally cold summer last year. The J&R train service on Tohoku Main Line has begun to run again, but the O line is still showing no signs of being resumed. And rebuilding has begun in the Aonai area of Okushiri Island, which was the most badly damaged by the quake in Hokkaido. 16 fishing boats were sunk in the Aonai area, and 76 others were tossed up under the breakwater or the beach. 9 homes were destroyed, and 45 others flooded. 79 residents in the area spent the night on a hill in a training center. Most of the people in the town had never experienced a tidal wave before. They were at a loss as to what to do to begin rebuilding. 150 people, including members of the self-defense forces and the town city offices, began the rebuilding today. The town is expected to be cleaned up and perhaps ready to begin operating again in a few days, but rebuilding the fort and the necessary repair of the beached boats will be much more difficult. The abalone and sea urchin fishing beds have also been damaged. That damage is estimated to be over 3 billion yen. Also, the body of a 63-year-old man was found this morning. He'd been pulled out to sea by a high wave while fishing. The Prime Minister is now in Washington preparing for his trip to Williamsburg to attend the summit of... So there was a young boy threw three fire bottles. Flames leapt some 30 meters into the air, and he quickly ran off.
1本目投げて2本目火炎瓶みたいなものを要するにこう火をこうつけてこう投げるとこを見てで3本目投げてで走り去っていった。
Another witness says the boy seemed to be about 20 to 23, was wearing a red jacket, blue jeans, and a white mask over his face. The first public trial of Kiyotaka Katsura, who had stolen a gun from a policeman and murdered another individual on the Meishin Highway, is held today. He denied his intention of the killings in the Meishin Expressway service area. Katsura has already confessed to 9 murders and it's believed he may have committed others. Today's trial deals with 5 offenses committed when he was using the policeman he stole from, or the pistol he stole from a policeman, and a hit-and-run case in which an employee of a supermarket in Kyoto was involved. The first hearing in his trial began at 1:15 this afternoon. Questioning and recitation of the indictment were followed by arraignment. Katsura, who'd shaved his head, was wearing dark blue jeans and a brightly colored tie. He stood straight, although his head was drooping, and admitted the main items of the indictment, including extortion of the pistol in Nagoya. He denied intending to kill Mitsuharu Kamiyama in the conflict of serious injury of an employee of a gas station in the Meishin Expressway. He reproduced the scene with gestures and strongly stated that he had no intention of killing him and that the pistol went off accidentally. This is the sister of the man who was killed there. She asked how he felt seeing his brother's murderer. He says he didn't look like he would kill anybody, but I'm infuriated that he behaves like that after committing such atrocious murders. The next hearing is scheduled to be held July 6th. The murders of the women will be added to the indictment, and those are under review at the moment. The inspection cited that U.S. Forces aircraft which blew up in Yamato City in Kanagawa Prefecture 2 days ago have been unable to be carried out. The Commander Shell of the U.S. Navy from Atsugi today has failed to elucidate on the accident. Investigation headquarters have requested Atsugi Naval Base to allow them to inspect the site of the accident. There's no reply received from the United States Navy. An EB-2 Hawkeye, the plane that was exploded, was not inspected. With the attendance of people involved at the base, the location of the body of the aircraft was inspected, and hearings were held by the Director of Japan Aircraft Corporation and 8 others. The investigation headquarters intends to place an investigator near the exploded aircraft at 9 tomorrow morning and begin inspecting the site as soon as approval from U.S. forces is granted, and make every effort to determine the cause of that explosion. So far, there have been over 800 aftershocks in yesterday's quake. The Earthquake Forecast Liaison Association will hold a meeting of the university researchers to discuss the quake. They'll analyze observation data on the quake in hopes of learning more about earthquake prediction. The day's events is an imminent English language presentation translated by Japan Convention Services. Satsuya Owen, Masao Konohiro, I'm George Casper. Look for a cloudy and perhaps damp weekend.
今日はセピアだね。
はい会長、新しいキャノンは拡大縮小にセピアが取れるんです。毎分50枚、それに自動機構もいろいろついてコピーワークにもう時間が取られません。
会にもこれくらい早いといいのにな。
フルシステムで新登場キャノン NP500RE。
いいか商売ってのはな、この IP コインのようによれよくな。はい。としとけばつながる間にね、他のこともできる。
はい、岩崎商会です。
あ、長田屋ですが、手長いだね。はい、長田屋です。
南田ですが、ビールお願いします。
毎度。
あそこのご主人よく飲むからな。ねえ。
電子ボタン電話なら岩通の IP コイン。岩通。
今時代は SPSS。 人はワンクラブ飛びに違いがあるといい、ロングアイアンが打てるようになったともいう。6対4が打つ。正確な飛距離と方向性がピンをデッドに攻める。打っている位置にスイートスポットを設計。全ての番手が同じフィーリングで打てる。科学が完成した結論、マルマン SPSS。
「
ークの全薬パワーライン店にご相談ください。症状に合ったコザックが揃っています。水虫タムシによく効く全薬工業のコザック。俺は村中で一番モボだと言われうまく楽しく美しく朝日の生ボトルという名でございます。
こんばんは、大橋圭さんです。
こんばんは、高木美代です。
ねえ、先週はすいませんでした。
大丈夫ですか？
はい、まだこうできてますけどね。
もう本当ご無事で何よりです。
先週はね、もう病院で熱出して言いながら見てましたけどね。久男がまたね。
私が手振ったの分かりました。
ああ、見てました、見てました。もうね、あのまんまね、二度とイレブンにも出らんないんじゃないか。ダービーもせっかく見られないんじゃない、50回ダービーと思いましたけど、無事正解いたしました。今日ダービー平らでした。
よかったですね。
でも先週見てたけど、だいぶもう3週目だから全部慣れたね。
もうもちろんです。お父様がいつもそばについててくださるから。にゃお。
それはこの前はワオで今日はニャオかね。だけどいや、それは言わない約束じゃないの。
そうなんですけれども、
父とこのイレブンをやりたいわけです。
そうですね。でもやっぱりどうしてもね、年齢っていうのは。
いや、僕はね、イメージとしてはね、中井貴一と松田聖子風で行ってみたい気もなきゃ。
This is the Weekend Report. World, national, local news, sports, and features compiled from the Associated Press, United Press International, and the major American networks. The weather is provided by your local oceanographic and weather stations.
Good evening. I'm Navy journalist Christina Parkinson with the latest news, weather, and sports. The Space Shuttle Challenger landed at Edwards Air Force Base in California today, successfully completing its mission. The touchdown was supposed to occur at Kennedy Space Center in Florida, but overcast skies forced Mission Control to scrub those plans. And CBS Terry Drinkwater has more on that.
Shuttle was supposed to land today for the first time on this new runway at the Kennedy Space Center in Florida, but the fog was just too thick.
Looks like we're a no-go for KSC. We will be going into Edwards on the following orbit.
NASA doesn't have enough confidence in Shuttle's computers to have allowed the automatic pilot to fly the spacecraft to a touchdown in such poor visibility. The weather at Edwards was ideal, but only a few space fans chanced the odds to come to the desert. Landing here, rather than in Florida, means the shuttle must be piggybacked on a 747 to the launch pad, and that will delay the next flight by as much as 8 days. But still, NASA called this the best of all the 7 shuttle missions. There were many firsts, an American woman in space. Together, the crew retrieved a satellite from space for the first time and put 2 other satellites into orbit. The president had planned to greet the 5 astronauts in Florida, but he ended up calling California.
Well, Dr. Let me just remind you that when we had lunch here at the White House before your flight, that somebody said that sometimes the best man for a job was a woman. You were there because you were the best person for the job.
Sally Ride said she was moved and grateful, and later she talked to the small crowd.
The thing that I'll remember most about that flight is that it was fun, and in fact, I'm sure it's the most fun I'll ever have in my life.
Sally Ride taught me that the term equal opportunity does not apply to dividing up the peanuts and butter cookies.
There were no stomach aches from too many cookies. Indeed, the doctor, the first MD in space, had no patience. None of the astronauts apparently developed the space motion sickness which had plagued